I'm Nadia and I'm first Phorm. I wanted to start this video by telling you a little bit about my story. I feel that in order to know who I am today, you have to know a little bit about what I went through in order to get here. I must warn you ahead of time that I'm a little bit of an oversharer. I used to see this as a character defect, but I don't feel that way anymore. I truly embrace that about myself, and I think that I can use it for good. Maybe reach some people who might be going through something similar to what I went through. So in my life, it was pretty rough. I suffered from a lot of trauma, and I suffered a lot of loss. I would be lying if I said that some of it wasn't brought on by my own choices in life, but most of it was just the hand that I was dealt. It left me wondering a lot, why me? I was smiling on the outside. I tried to hold it together for my kids, but on the inside, I was miserable. All of that suffering and years of depression had led me to the darkest place I'd ever been in my entire life, to my own personal rock bottom. My rock bottom was me sitting on a cold bathroom floor with a loaded gun in my mouth. I sat there miserable and in agony and desperately just needing the pain to stop. With that gun in my mouth, before I pulled the trigger, I thought about my mother, who had died of suicide only 3 short years before that. And then I thought about my children. I didn't want my 3 beautiful little girls to wonder why. Why me? So I pulled that gun out of my mouth and I decided to start writing my letters. I pulled out my spiral and I began. The plan had been to take 1 whole year. I would take 1 year and I would write in these journals all the reasons why. I would explain all of the things that I had done to try and fix my life, to make myself happy. I would do everything that everybody told me would make my life better, and I would prove to them that I tried and that I was truly hopeless. That way, they wouldn't blame themselves, they wouldn't wonder, they would know that I had to do it. And they would understand, and they wouldn't have any questions. No doubt, they would just know. On January 7th, I woke up and I started trying. Not because I thought it would work, but because I wanted my kids to know that it wouldn't. So I gave up alcohol, being a depressant, and I decided to start running. Maybe try and lose some weight, get out with nature. So I submerged myself in the middle of all the beautiful things that God created. Out there on those trails, I cried a lot. I used those tears and all of those memories as fuel to push me, to make me run faster, to make me run harder, longer if I could. Being 75 pounds overweight, I had to stop running a lot and walk. When I was walking, I used that time to pray. I would pray to God. I would talk to my mother. I would talk to my father. It was actually a really beautiful thing because when I would be speaking to them, it just always happened that these cardinals would come and fly in. And I always took that as a sign that they were listening to me. I got up and I ran every day that I could, even when I didn't want to, especially on the days that I didn't want to. I would force myself out there, and I started eating healthier and doing all these things to try and make my body better, hoping that maybe my mind would follow. I don't know how many weeks it was, maybe a few weeks, and I lost something like 10 pounds. Nobody else could tell, but I could tell, and I started gaining some confidence. It made a difference. But the one day that I truly will never, ever forget was somewhere in the beginning of February. I was cleaning my house. I had the music on, and I was sweeping the floor, and all of a sudden I start dancing with a broom, full out, crazy, arms up in the air, booty shaking, dancing. And I stopped and I thought, like, what is this? Like, what am I doing? And the moment that I realized what had been going on, my entire body collapsed. I hit the floor on my knees and I started thanking God, because in that moment I realized that I was happy. From the inside to my core, truly happy. So I kept running. My runs from this point on, from this realization, started to look a lot different from that point. I would be running with a giant smile on my face instead of tears running down from my eyes, and it was beautiful. I gained all of this confidence in myself, and it was from that moment on that I knew my life was about to get so much different, so much better. Even just being in February, only 6 weeks into my journey, I booked a cruise for October, for Halloween, for my favorite holiday. And I booked it as my celebration. I told myself, well, you'll have been 10 months sober by now, so you can be around alcohol, and you will have hit your goal weight by then. So this is going to be a celebration cruise. And I booked it, and everybody thought I was crazy, but I didn't care, because I knew this was it, and I had confidence in myself. So I did. I ran and I ate super healthy, and I did this for 10 months. 10 long months. But I did it, and I hit my goal weight, and I went on that cruise. And it was amazing. And celebrating all of that hard work was just so worth it. Now, the cruise wasn't only amazing because, hello, cruise. But for the time with my children, celebrating this wonderful journey that I had been on, and having this new bond with them. They were so proud and so supportive of my journey, because they got their mother back. They got the mother that every child deserves, a happy mother, a present mother, one who doesn't just lay in bed all day, but gets out and does things with them, like go on cruises together and go on hikes. They had a happy mother, and that made them happy. We were all just so very happy. Now, goals are a huge motivator for me. They're what keep me going. So when I got back from the cruise, I didn't have as much of a momentum as I did before, because I had hit my goal weight and I didn't really know where to go from then. I needed more goals. So I decided to join the gym. And I had joined the gym before, and I never really cared for it. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was a new person now. I was a different person, and I had a different mindset. So I decided to go for it, and I signed up at the gym, and I signed that contract. And from the moment that I walked into those gym doors, I was absolutely in love with it. So I saved my life on the trails. I fell in love with fitness while running, but I truly found my future and my passion lifting weights. I figured out that I wasn't meant to be skinny and thin and a runway model. I was meant to be strong, and embracing that about myself, embracing what I felt I was put on this earth to be, was a huge confidence builder and a life-changing thing for me. But it doesn't really matter what type of fitness I am participating in at that moment. Who knows? When I'm done with lifting weights, I may decide to be a rock climber or a scuba diver. I don't know, something active in my life, but I know how important it is. Fitness for me is my depression medication, and I need to have that on a regular basis, because I'm terrified to slip backwards into that dark place. And so fitness is and will always be a huge part of my life. The progress I made on the outside is amazing. It's remarkable to me. I don't even recognize myself when I look back at pictures. But on the inside, it's even more amazing. The things that I catch myself thinking are just completely opposite of what I used to think and how I used to feel. The transformation on the inside is so much more valuable to me, and I am so proud of all of that progress. With all of this confidence comes a feeling that I can achieve anything that I want. Had you found me 2 years ago and told me that I would be currently working towards a goal of competing in a bodybuilding competition someday, I would have laughed in your face and never believed you, because being on stage in front of a lot of people terrifies me. And that's exactly why I am doing it. So when I was tagged in the first Phorm athlete search by multiple people, I looked into it. I had loved first Phorm supplements, and so it caught my attention, but I kind of swept it aside until I was tagged again, and then I decided to read about the company and what it stood for. And that's when my viewpoint changed. This was something huge and something that intimidated me. So that's all the more reason for this new Nadia to go ahead and go for it. But when I read that they were all about helping people and reaching them and changing their lives through fitness, I just knew that I had to be a part of it. That's everything that I stand for today. If I can help just one person with my story, if I can help reach one person who's in that dark place, who feels alone and feels like nobody understands, then my whole life and all of the suffering and everything that I went through will have all been worth it. So this is why I say that my oversharing is a gift, because I hope that my story can reach other people who may feel that way and be in that dark place that I know all too well. And maybe I can help them to get up and to fight, because I know that you can do it. I did it. It was too late for my mother. It's too late for hundreds of thousands of people every single year who die from suicide. But it doesn't have to be too late for the people who are still suffering. It doesn't have to be the end of the road. They don't have to pull that trigger. They can get up and they can fight. And if my story can empower them to take that step and to give fitness a try, then it'll all be worth it. Why me? Why me? Because I am first Phorm. I am everything the company stands for, and I want to help. If I can help, it will all be worth it. I'm Nadia, and I am first Phorm, and I already. And I am first Phorm. I am first Phorm. Know a bit about what I went through and to get here. A bit of an oversharer. I used to see this as a character defect. I am first Phorm. Stupid. By telling you a little bit about my story, I feel that in order to... Why do I keep doing this? I wanted to start this video by giving you a little bit of my story. Why do I keep itching my face? Oh, my eyelash is going off. That's lovely. So for me!